don't get when you combine Broadway hits with playful puppets and a wholesome children's message? Well, the answer, Johnny and the Sprites. It's a live-action series on the Disney Channel and quickly becoming a huge hit. Now, for more on this, we're thrilled to be joined by Johnny himself, Johnny Tartaglia, who plays himself on the show and is also the executive producer. Now, listen, we're also joined by one of his favorite Sprites, the lovable Ginger, who plays an integral role in the series. Hi, guys.
Hi, how you doing?
How are you?
We're doing good. We're excited to be here. Thank you, Bianna.
Oh, well, so thanks for coming on with us. Now, first I want to start off by saying I just read that the show got 13 more, so you just got signed 13 more shows, correct?
Yeah, we just got picked up.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's start talking about how the show works.
Okay.
What's the storyline?
All right, well, I play Johnny, and he's a songwriter and a singer, and he inherits this house from his uncle in the woods, and he moves there. And he kind of accidentally comes upon these characters called the Sprites.
That's right. That's you.
That's her.
Go on.
Unbeknownst to Johnny, in his backyard there's a portal that leads to this magical place where the Sprites live called Grotto's Grove. And so the whole show is kind of about the two of us being from two different worlds, getting along and learning about each other.
Wow. And so, Ginger?
Yes,
do you like being on the show?
Oh, yes, I do. It's a lot of fun. And plus I get to be there with my friends Lily and Basil and Ruth.
Basil couldn't be here today. I wanted to ask Basil a few questions, too.
Well, he had to write in his log.
Oh, okay. I get it. He's a busy man.
Yes, he is. He's a man.
So, Johnny, you're teaching the Sprites about what it's like to be human, right?
Yeah, and I'm teaching them all about my world, and they kind of teach me about their world in return. And so, the whole show is kind of about mutual understanding and tolerance and, understanding differences. And I think that right now, especially with the way that the world is, it's such an important thing to be learning.
Right. Ginger?
Yes?
So what do you think about people overall?
Oh, I really like them. I find them very interesting.
How so?
Well, we have a lot in common, for one thing, because we both follow our hearts a lot of the time, and sometimes our heads, but sometimes it's hard to do both at the same time.
Yeah, it is hard.
So Johnny teaches us a lot of songs and helps us figure out, how to work the two things out.
That's great.
Yeah.
And Johnny, you were 16 when you conceived the show?
Yeah, I used to follow my father. He's a musical director, to rehearsals, and I would sit in the back of the theater, and I would kind of sketch things out and just keep myself busy. And I sketched this image of this Sprite-like character, and didn't really think much about it, but I kind of came up with some ideas and some names and put it aside. And then about 10 years later, when I was asked to create Johnny and the Sprites, I came upon that pad, and I said this could be really interesting, and that's kind of how it got reinvented again.
Well, you're something of a wonderkin there. You were one of the youngest puppeteers to perform on Sesame Street?
I was, yeah. My first official day was when I was 16, but I did some work on the set when I was 14. So that was a wonderful way to learn and to kind of train and grow in the business.
And tell us about Avenue Q. Ginger, have you seen Avenue Q?
I'm not allowed to see Avenue Q
I have to do
because
this.
I'm too, it's not age appropriate for me.
I get it.
Yeah.
She remembers that.
Do you want me to plug my ears while you talk about it?
We'll just talk about it briefly. Johnny, you got nominated for a Tony, right?
Yeah, it was my Broadway debut, and I was very blessed to be nominated for a Tony that year. And it's so funny because it was 3 years ago, but it feels like it was so long ago. But it was a wonderful experience for me, and it's brought me a lot of opportunities like Johnny and the Sprites. So
that is a great opportunity. So Ginger, you learn different stories about life and what it's like to be a person. I heard last time you learned the importance of listening, right?
Oh, yes, I did.
And what's the importance?
Well, tell Bianna about the Sprite rule. What happens when Sprites talk? Don't listen.
Well, what happens is, if we use up all our words in the day and don't let anybody else talk, a big thing happens where you lose your voice completely, and you're forced to listen. And it's amazing, because when you're forced to listen, you hear a lot more and learn a lot more, for sure.
You do learn a lot more. Have you gotten in trouble yet?
Oh, yeah, I kind of do.
Well, Ginger's, she's an air sprite, so she's an expert flyer, and she's in charge of keeping the grove, all the weather in the grove, in good conditions. And so every now and then she gets a little out of hand with her flying, and
I'm a bit curious. You know what I mean?
But that's when it comes to
Johnny.
What'd you say, Bianna?
But it's good to be curious sometimes, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's just learning and balance like everything else. Everything in moderation. That's right.
So, Ginger and Johnny, what has been the reaction from parents? They like their kids watching these shows?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, I get stopped all the time with parents, you know, saying that the kids love the show. And the nicest thing that parents say is that they're so happy that there's a show on the air that they can watch with their kids. And one of the things that when we were creating the show, we really strived for was to make a show that doesn't drive parents crazy, and that they can sit down with the kids, and the music is enjoyable, and you know, all the music is written by Broadway composers, so it's music that everyone in the family can relate to. And that was our biggest goal with the show. So it's nice that that's actually happening.
That is great. Ginger, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Huh?
I'm going to put you on the spot now and ask you a question.
Oh, okay, go for it. Go for it.
Can you sing us a little song?
Oh, that's good.
What should I sing, Johnny?
Why don't you sing a little bit of Muddle in the Puddle?
Okay. Let me see. I look weird. It's much worse than I have feared. These diamond pennies curl so much I wanna hide. I'll lie low till I'll know if it's something I'll outgrow. The way I look is not the way I feel inside.
But now you feel better, right?
Yes, I do.
That
was
feel bad about it.
beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Bravo, Ginger.
Aw, thanks.
So, Ginger,
Yeah?
would you ever trade places with Sprites and become a human?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh, that is a good thing. But you know what? I just kind of like that we're all so different.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things that I really love about Johnny. But then again, there's part of my culture that I'm really proud about. And I love that we get to share it.
I wish I could be a Sprite sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
to be able to
that's
fly and be magic and everything.
I know.
But is always trying to come visit us in the Grove, but he can't fit through the portal.
I'm too big to get through the portal.
Yeah.
So they can come visit me, but I can't go visit them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe it's best to be inside today, especially when it's so cold outside.
Exactly.
You know? Sometimes it's better to be indoors.
Yeah, Ginger, you should talk to the weather, find out what's going on with this cold.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. I have a lot of influence up there.
Well, Ginger, you said that your partner Basil, he's doing his blog right now?
Oh, no, he writes down information for our history books. We call them Sprite logs.
And they're actually logs.
Oh,
They're
logs.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Lily, our other Sprite, is giving a swimming lesson to Ruth. So they were kind of busy. I got to be the lucky one, and we might go see a show.
Yeah.
What are you going to see?
Well, Ginger's never seen a Broadway show before. So
Really?
Yeah, and right now I'm performing in Beauty and the Beast on Broadway. So I may bring Ginger to come see Beauty and the Beast
Yes,
tonight.
yes, yes.
That's so great. Well, I tell you what, Ginger, we want to have you back on to tell us what you thought about the show, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, well, thanks so much. This is such a great idea. Honestly, guys, I think it's just such a great concept to throw out to kids and teach them about life. So really appreciate it. Johnny
Thank you.
Tartaglia and, of course, Ginger, my new
Right.
friend. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. And to see more of Johnny and Ginger, you can check out Johnny and the Sprites Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on the Disney Channel.